Failure is interesting, man. I've been thinking a lot about failure generally, both the necessity of failure, you know what I mean? And how to contextualize failure. I'm trying to think of a time that I failed. I mean, I fail all the fucking time. I mean, I was joking with somebody about this. I'm trying to make a big part of my art practice failing, you know what I'm saying? Because that means that I'm trying to step out of a comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? That means that I'm trying things that don't work. This one time, my life was in like flux. I was in just in flux. I just quit my job. I was living in New York, working at this tech startup, and I love the people, but I was really disenchanted with the work. I was disenchanted with the idea of working, and so I left that job. I left New York, and I was kind of like vagabonding around the world for a while. A friend of mine, I was helping a dear friend of mine shoot a film, and we were in Geneva to make money because I was broke. I was briggity broke, like, broke. I was doing a little bit of consulting for a friend of mine, some kind of consulting and design work. And also trying to like tend to my, where I was at the time too, because I didn't know what I was doing with life. I didn't have a job. I didn't have anything lined up, blah, blah, blah. And it was a pretty simple assignment. He wanted me to design some ads. And so I would walk around. I was thinking I was there for maybe 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks. And it was something that, I could have sat down and done for like an hour. It was like an hour, bang this job out an hour, keep it moving. And it was maybe like 10 days of me struggling to make sense of this design. And I couldn't do it. I was like frustrated with myself. I was angry. I was walking around this beautiful place, seeing all this stuff, and just like my brain was, I would like shoot some stuff with my friend. And then I would leave to go back to where I was staying and then be totally preoccupied with like why I couldn't get this design to work and I couldn't get it to make sense. And you mentioned that book failed it. I took a trip to, I love saying shit like this. I love that this is what my life has become. I took a trip to Paris. Took a train, I had a cousin that was in, this is all on broke nigga shit, but I'm coming in here to
Nice.
show you. But I took a train ride to Paris. My cousin was there. She was like, yo, train is like, 30, 40 euro. You can stay at my place. We'll walk around and we'll hang out. I stopped at this bookshop. Even hanging out with her, I was really preoccupied. And I stopped at this bookshop and I found this book, Whatever You Think the Opposite, by Paul Arden. He has a couple of other tiny books that are like this, that are like, really short, more graphical sort of things about creativity process, things like that. And it's not who you are, it's how good you want to be. It's his other book. That's like the big one. I like sat in a bookshop and just read this whole book. It's like 30 minutes. It's a pretty short book. And I just sat there and read it. And I was like, fuck. The whole book talks about the importance of failure, the importance of seeing things differently, the importance of trying and overshooting and undershooting. Because the point is you just keep shooting. You know what I'm saying? And you learn what you take away from that.